Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's vlog is actually a continuance of the previous one where I talked about how not to go broke in the Philippines. So again, I'm speaking to the people who's staying here or planning to stay here and at the age of 60 and above. And so we talked about in the previous one about the 50-30-20 rule, how to save your money, how to manage your money. Today it's still about the money. And when you come here to the Philippines, let's say you already have your fiance or you're already married and you're looking for a place to live. What if your in-laws say, why don't you come move near us or live with us and go live together? You can save a lot of money. And maybe even your wife or girlfriend says, the fiance says, yeah, it's a good idea. Let me tell you something, it's not a good idea. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I love a lot of Filipinos and Filipinos, but everybody needs their privacy. You come from another country, it's a completely different lifestyle here. You're going to have a lot of surprises, unexpected surprises, and not all the surprises are good surprises. So let me go into the depth of this. If you would move in with your in-laws, most of the people here have a lot of kids. Now let's say your in-laws live out in the province. In the province, most of the houses built extremely close to each other. You can't even drive in unless you're with a motorcycle. There's no rules, no boundaries practically. So if you fart in one room, the neighbor can hear it definitely that you fart. And as I said, a lot of kids, nobody has privacy. Many people, when they wake up early morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, they turn on the radio or the CD and blast the music. Doesn't matter if you worked all night or something. That's the way life is here. The roosters crowing, dogs barking, pigs smelling. That's the lifestyle. Most of the places out in the province. Now, let's say you decide you think it's a good idea to move there because you're going to save a lot of money on your rent and electric. Well, you're going to lose a lot of money on food. Let's say you go to grocery shopping, and even if you have your privacy, a little room and a little kitchen, when you do grocery shopping, before you walk in the house, you're going to be 30 people surrounding you. Everybody wants to know what you purchased. And you're not going to leave until they sample everything. You're going to have the neighbors' kids. Once they get to know you, and you're nice to them, friendly, greet them, they're all going to come up to you and ask you to bless them. And all of them wants a little money for biscuits. So it all seems fun at the beginning, but I tell you, you buy your food, you cook, your wife's going to put it on a table, you're not going to be able to eat it peacefully, just you and your wife, because you're going to have all your in-laws coming over there, and you don't want to be greedy, you're going to ask them to come and eat. So the food is not going to be enough unless your wife cooks a large amount for like 15 people, but then it's going to cost you a lot more too. Now I'm going to stick to that same number what in the previous vlog, $1,200. And as I said, you might get much more, much less. I'm just going with the simple number, $1,200. So you can play with that figure, plus minus. Now, you do the math. If you buy food that when you live in a province, let's say 2-3 times a week, or fruits and vegetables or fish, I said, you never shop for yourself and your wife or your girlfriend. It's always going to be for everybody then, even though you came here to be with her, right? So if you don't share, you're going to be the stingy American. They're going to call you all kind of names. So does it worth it to move out there? If you don't mind that lifestyle, then yeah, go ahead. But you're never going to have peace because there's always somebody going to be in your life talking and asking for favors. Now on the top of that, they know you from America, lots of people gonna come up there. The word's gonna go around real quick that here's American just moved in. Then people are gonna come and first ask for small favors. Oh, can you buy me a beer? And you buy a beer. Then, oh, can you help me out with this a little bit? I lost my job or some kind of excuse. I pay you back. 99% of the time you don't see that money coming back. And if you ask for it, then you're the bad guy. Now, when you buy a little bit here, a little bit there, I'm telling you, before you blink, in 2 weeks your money is out completely. And it happened to a few expats here in the Philippines. They're scratching their head, even with some of them getting $2,000, $2,500, that where's all the money? Well, that's where all the money goes. And a little bitty adds up fast. A little bit here, a little bit there, several times a day. And then you're going to have people coming up to you for loans. My family has nothing to eat. You know, rice is life here. Can you help me buy a larger amount of rice because it's cheaper on the larger quantity, and when I get paid, I pay you back, so it's a credit. Some of them pays you back, even with interest. But some of them, when the time comes, you have to go and find them. And if you do that, then they're going to get pissed off. And they're going to say, what, you can't wait, you need the money so bad, you have so much compared to me. So to avoid all these problems and headaches, this is my opinion. I love company, I love all the relatives from my side and my wife's side, but you came here to enjoy life and not be an ATM. And you don't want to put yourself through extra stress at your age, advanced age, when there's other things happening in life too. So what I suggest is live beyond your means. I mean within your means, not beyond your means, within your means. Don't go after the American lifestyle because it's going to cost a lot over here. You're here not to impress anybody, but your wife or girlfriend. You don't have to go into the big ass house, 3-bedroom, but only 2 of you. For what? Seriously, for what reason? You don't have to buy a $30,000 car or a truck. For what? To run around a little bit here and there? Buy something much cheaper. Buy something reliable, reasonable with air condition. Find yourself an air conditioned home. I already made videos of this. You can get them for $100 a month. But you can step it up, you can go up to $200 or $300. It's up to what you fancy. But again, you're not here to impress anybody. If you go with something very expensive, then your in-law is going to think that you loaded. And then they're going to always come and ask. Not just in-laws. You'd be surprised your wife's classmates, even she didn't even see for over 10 years, they even contact her. They're even going to contact you that, I need to buy a couple pigs, or my brother ended up in the hospital, we don't have any money. Can you help us out? All kind of excuses. Believe me, I'm not a stingy person, but I'm trying to show you that what you can run into. So avoid the headaches, what you can create for yourself, being a nice guy. And even if you say no, doesn't mean you're not a nice guy. They don't know how much money you have because you're never going to tell anybody. So to politely decline, say, I'm sorry, but I just don't have any money. I'm a very limited income and I have doctor's bills to pay. So never post anything on Facebook. People these days like to just non-stop putting out their business on Facebook and YouTube, especially Facebook. Either bragging or something. That's a foolish thing to do. Never brag about your financial situation. You know? So hang on to your money. Think about that 50%, 30%, and 20%, right? 50% rule is your needs, what you must pay for. 30% is your wants of your rate, of the income you're getting. And then 20% is emergency fund and savings. You just never know. Maybe one day you have to fly back to America. If you don't have a savings, Emergency fund, how are you going to fly back? You're going to go and borrow? That's not a good feeling, right? So I would stick to the plan. And think about this where I'm explaining. I said some people are going to find it offensive, but look at them too. They're looking out for themselves too, their families. They have very limited budget, and you could be on a very limited budget too, but they expect you to pay, help them out. But if you would ask them to help you out, they would say, yeah, anytime I help you out, but they can't, even if they want to, they can't help out because they just don't have it. And you're the same way. You gotta think about yourself and your spouse. You're number one and your spouse number one. So you gotta keep yourself extremely healthy and always have money saved on the side and eat as healthy as possible. Okay, so what you guys think about this? I'm really interested. I said a lot of you probably going to disagree with me, but I think for your privacy and peace of mind, better live away for about a half an hour away. Get together sometimes, but not on an everyday basis. Everybody wants their privacy and peace. That way you keep your mind straight and enjoy life. If you have any vehicles, motorcycles, I strongly suggest don't loan it to nobody, don't rent it either. And I tell you why. I know some people who do that for a living, and some of them do it as a little supplemental income. And anytime they get their vehicle back, there's some damage to it. Or a motorcycle back, there's some damage to it, and the people who are renting it, they're staying quiet about it. They're not saying, hey, I'm so sorry. Things can happen to anybody. But when you don't say anything about it, that's being sneaky, it's not being honest. So you're doing it because you don't want to pay for the damages. And let's say they return it and you don't discover it right away, maybe weeks down the line, and then you say something, they're going to say, no, I didn't do that. That's just maybe happened now, or maybe you did it, right? So to save yourself from some headache, I always say, from young age, I don't share my motorcycles with nobody. I don't rent them out. Not even my cars or trucks or my wife. Those are personal things, personal belongings. You keep that to yourself. And if they get mad, that's okay. There's places where they can go and rent, professional places, companies. But then you have to provide your ID and things. You gotta leave a deposit for damages or something. You get it back, but if there's no damages. So why come to me, right? Other thing too also, just like in America, there's a lot of pawn shops, a lot of places people can get loans, but they charge interest. So many times they like to ask people like XBAC to give them loans, but they don't want to pay interest on it, right? And sometimes when you put up your money, you gotta wait a half a year before you even see it back, if you see it back. So, as I said before, just let them know, you got hospital bills or medication, and you just don't have it. Very sorry, I can't help you. I would help you if I could, but I just can't. But I can give you some ideas. If you have any rings or TV or something, go to a pawn shop or apply for a personal loan. They help you out. Okay? All right? Thank you for your time again. All of you enjoy your day.